Maybe you want to create an online survey post that can be used to collect data from people, or even an online registration for your upcoming event or training. In this video, I'm going to show you a step-by-step on how to use Google Forms to create any form for data collection. I will also show you how you can view all the response data from the form. You will also learn how you can extract all the data into an Excel sheet, analyze them, or even print them, all in this video. So stay tuned. If you want to access the Google Forms, you need to open up your browser and let's type Google Forms. That's a simple way to go about it. So let me just type Google Forms into my browser. So when you type Google Forms, just pick up the first link, that is Google Forms. Just click on it. But you need to have a Gmail account first. So if you don't have a Gmail account, you can simply create one. It's easy to create a Gmail account. So as you can see, I think I have my account already. So I'll just click on my account to log in. So let me click on my account. So I'll just enter my password and then just log into my account. Okay. So after login, you can access your Google Forms and then start creating. So this is the interface of it. As you can see, this is my Google Forms. These are some templates. I mean, you can choose to pick your form from, maybe you want to design a contact form or RSVP or party invite or whatever. But when you come down, you see your recent forms that you are also working with it. So if you have a form that you are working, you see it here. So here we want to create a new form or a blank form. So you can see the blank here. So click on it. So when you click on it, you will just be given the form component. Now, one thing that you need to understand is that when you check on the forms, it has 3 tabs at the top. The first one is questions. The questions contains your form's information together with the various fields that you have on the forms. And now we have the second tab at the top here that shows response. Assuming like you have already started using the forms and people have started sending in data, you can view all those data from the responses tab. And then the last tab is used to make changes to your forms. Over here, you can do a whole lot of changes. I think we'll go through it, but let's see how to see the forms component. So let me go back to the questions here. So over here, they have given you a title. That means you need to give your forms a title. Depending on what you are creating, it can be of a form for data collection, it can be for a survey, it can be for registration. So here in our example, we are going to use it on a product. Maybe you want to test customers' views on a product that you sell. So let me just say below service. So we are assuming like the business name is below service product review. Okay, so that's going to be my, let me make this one capital. So this is my forms heading, or my heading for the form that I'm creating. You can give out a brief description, maybe, okay, so let's say maybe below services. Let me just put in below services. Just let's put it anything there. One thing is that you can customize or format your text, so you can see all these format commands like bold and other stuff. Okay, now let's come here. Now when you see the panel here, this is used to add components, or what we call controls. We call them forms controls. And as you can see, this is called add question. That means if you want to add another question to the forms. And then we have this one is to import a question. Maybe you have your questions somewhere, maybe in an Excel, you can import it. And this is to add a title or description. This is to add an image, if you want to add an image to the form. and this is also to add a video, and this is to add a section. Maybe you want to have sections for your various form. So let me just quickly go here, the question. So what I want to type, maybe I will just say how did you get to know about us? Okay, so that's the question that I'm asking my customers. How did you get to know about us? Now, when you check here, we have the type of question that you want to ask. Sometimes you can choose to have multiple choice that the users will pick it from. So if you check here, we have multiple choice. Then, so it depends on whatever you want to do. If you want them to type an answer, you can choose short answer. If you want to type a lengthy text, you can use the paragraph, and then the multiple choice, that is, they can pick it from a radio button. This is checkbox if you want them to be checking it also, and this is a drop down if you want them to drop down to pick an option from there. If you want to include a file, that is maybe for them to upload, yeah, you can add it there. Okay, so we have a lot of various forms controls here. So in my case, I'm going to use the checkbox. Okay, so I've selected a checkbox, so I'll just have to put in the first option. So how did you get to know about us? Maybe through radio ads, maybe through radio ads, or maybe through radio advert. Let me put it that way. Maybe through radio advert. So I'll go to the second option. You just tap there and you can type. So maybe through social media. Through social media. Okay, so you can go sorry. Okay, so maybe the third one, maybe I want to maybe television. That's it, television adverts. Okay, mostly you can make your forms look very neat by having a sentence key. So that is it. Now I have one form of field. I can go on and on and on and add. If I want the field to be required, now if you check that down here, this is to duplicate. Duplicate means you can clone this same question down there. This is to delete. Maybe accidentally when you made a mistake, you want to delete the whole question, you can do that. And this is a required field. That means if I check it, that means when the user is filling that forms, he or she has to put in or select in something from the options before they can proceed on with that. So if you want a field or you want a question to be required, you can just click on required. So let me add another question. So let me just click on add another question. So here I'll just type in my question. Let's say which of our products do you like? Okay, so which of our product do you like? Okay, so here too, let me use a different option. So let me say like multiple choice. Okay, so maybe salad. That's our first option. Then the second option may be ice cream. Okay, so let me say drink. Okay, so let me add another one. So let me say pizza. Yeah, pizza. Okay, so these are the options. You see, through this you can go on and on and on and on and add other questions. Yeah, so let me just quickly add a third one. So let me click on add question. Okay, so maybe which of our branch do you buy from? Maybe I want to know which of my branches that customers buy from. So maybe Over here too, I can go then change it to maybe okay, so let me just choose checkbox again. So maybe Kaswa branch, Kumasi branch, and then maybe Accra. Okay, so that is it. Let me add another one so that we can add different fields. So let me, over here, I want them to type something, so I'll just say short answer. So I'll put in a question, and maybe I want to request for their name, maybe your full name. Okay, so over here, it will ask the customer or whoever is filling the form to put in text there. I want it to be required, so I'll just put in required. Let me even make the other ones also required. So let's say required. They are all required because we want them to fill in such data. So I probably have to make them all required. Now with this thing, let's see how the form looks like. So after you have finished all your entries or fields on the forms, you can just quickly come to this tab you see here. It's called customize theme. That means if you want to change the design, look, or appearance of it, you can do that. And this one is to preview the form. So let's see how the forms will look like. So I'll just click on this one, and this is how the form is going to be looking like. This is how the form is going to look like. So here you see the title I gave it, and then the short description, and then over here the questions that I asked. How did you get to know about us? So over here the user or the one filling the form can just choose from it. After he has finished, he can just submit it. So this is the first step of what designing a form. So let me just close it and let's get to the second step. Yeah, so now that we've been able to create our form successfully, let's look at the second step that we need to consider. We are done with the form, but let's look at some settings. So when you go to the third tab here, so I'll click on it, and then we need to make some changes, or we need to make some settings to the form that we've created in terms of submissions or for response and presentation. So when you come to the settings, we have categories of settings that you can use to make changes. We have the first one that you see there is that it says make this a quiz. Probably this section is very good when your forms that you've created or your questions that you've created is mainly for examination purpose, or maybe a quiz. So if you are a teacher, or maybe you are organizing some online posts, you can check out this one, because and then when you click on it, it shows a sub settings under it. It says that immediately after each submission, that is if you want to release marks after the student has submitted it, or maybe you want to review and then manually. I hope you are getting it. Sure. So at the end of the day, we have these options that you can choose, either to release marks after submissions or later. So if you are organizing a quiz or examination, I think this you can enable these options. So that is the settings for the quiz. So when you come down, it talks about respondent settings. You can check for missed questions. That is, respondent can see which questions were answered incorrectly. That is, they will see questions that they didn't get. And then also you can also allow respondents to see their correct answers that they choose. So if you check it, you allow it. If you uncheck it, you disable it. So these are all settings for quiz purpose. Okay, so let me just take it off. Now the second one is response. Now when you come down here, we have collect emails. That is, if you want to collect emails from those that submit the forms, you can enable it. So if I check this thing, that means automatically it's going to add an email field in the form that we've created, even though if we didn't add it. Okay, but if you are looking at the form that we created, we already added an email field. So if you want to collect email from your users, you can enable that. Okay, so if you enable it, it says that send responders a copy of their response. That means if you check it to be always or when requested, that means at the end of the submissions or response of what they have entered or submitted will be sent back to them. So that is it. And also, if you want to allow response editing, that is, responses can be changed after being submitted. So all these things are one or two checks that you can add to the forms that you've created. So let me just check it off. And then also, when you come down here, we have require sign-in. Require sign-in means if you want the forms to be filled per person, that is, maybe a user with one email account can submit multiple times. So if you want it to limit it to one person, you can just check this. That is to allow the response to come from only one person. So that is that there. And then when you come down to presentations over here, you can see other settings on maybe you want to show progress bar. Is to show the user where they have gotten to through the forms filling. Okay, so that is it. And if you are also having questions, you want them to be shuffled in order so you can enable this shuffle questions order. And then the next one is after submission confirmation message that will be sent to them. So it depends on what message actually you want to send to them after they have submitted. So let me just save it so you can just enable this confirmation to automatically the system will send it to them. And then show link to submit another response. So maybe after submission you want the person to also submit another response again, you can enable it. If you uncheck it, that means they will not be able to do that. And then also you can allow them to view results summary. So these are all checks depending on what actually forms that you are creating, or maybe what kind of survey that you are creating. So you can do that. And then also we have disable autosave for all respondents. So if you enable it, that means it can restrict autosave for respondent. So these are basically some settings that you can do to the form that we've created. You'll be able to control the response and the presentations of this form. So that is it. We are now going to see how we can view or maybe share the forms for people to access the forms and start filling in information. Yeah, so now we are done with our forms and also we are done with the settings that we just made. So now how do we get this form link to share with people so that they can fill it? So after you are done with your forms and you have checked all your settings and you are okay to go, that means you are here to generate a link and send it to people to start filling. Now to do that, when you check on top here, you can see the preview. This is to just preview how your forms looks like. It's always good to check how the form looks like before. Maybe if there's any changes that you want to make, you can do that before sharing the link. So when you click on that, you can view the forms. This is just to undo, maybe in case you made a mistake during the creation or whatever, you can undo, and this is to redo. So to get a copy of your form or to get a link of your form, you click on the send. So when you click on the send, you will see options here that is send the form. If you want to collect emails of people that you are going to send the form, you can check this one so that automatically it picks up their email. Maybe you can use it for marketing purpose. So the first section that we have is to send the form through mail. So maybe if you are inviting people to fill the form through their email, that means you need to put in their email address here. Yes, you need to put their email address here. So this will be the subject for the mail, and this will be the message. You can enter or create your own message that you want to do. Yes. But the next one that we are looking at is to get a link. So when you click on this one, you can see a link here. So this is the link you copy. When you copy it, yes, you can share with people either through WhatsApp, through other social media platforms, so that they will be able to fill the forms. But it looks like this link is too lengthy. So there is a checkbox here which you can use to shorten the URL. So as you tap on it, it makes the link very short. Sometimes if it's too long like this, people might just will make it well organized. So I think when you make a short URL, it will shorten the URL. So you can just copy this one and also share it maybe through WhatsApp, through Facebook, or through any other means. And then the last option here is maybe you are a web designer, or maybe you have a website and then you want to just copy this code and embed it anywhere on your website, and it will show the forms in there for you. So that is how it is. So you can copy it and at the end of the day share with your users. So basically that is how you can generate the link for your users to start filling for you. Okay, so let's see how to view response that has come through the submissions of the form that we created. So when you check at the top here, you can see responses 4. That means we have 4 submissions of the forms. So when you tap on it, you see the data. Now what we are going to do is that at the end of reviewing all these data, I'll be showing you how you can extract all these data into an Excel sheet. So when you come here, we have 3 tabs. That's the summary of all the forms. If you want to see the questions itself, you can check it. Or maybe per individual filling, you can check all their data in there. Though that's it. So let's go back to the summary of it. The reason why I love the summary is that it gives you a chart. It has a nice graphical chart that you can use to analyze the data that has been submitted. So when you check here, this is the first field we have on our form, that is email. So these are all emails that we receive from various users. So when you check here, you can see the next question on our form, that how did you get to know about us? And then you can check the indicators. So as you can see, that through social media has a majority of people that has checked for that. And when you go down here, you can also see which of our product do you like. Yeah, basically this is just a sample data, or this is just a sample forms that I use. You can create a form to suit whatever activity that you are doing, being it of a survey, or maybe for examination, or for a pool, or for any other thing, depending on what you want to create or design. So basically these are all the informations that we have received from users. You can copy the charts over here, but let's see how to extract the data into Excel. So when you check over here, you can see create spreadsheet. So the moment you click on the create spreadsheet, it gives you a destination, that is create a new spreadsheet of this below service product review. So the moment I just click on create, I'll be able to create a new spreadsheet for the data that I have. So automatically it will open a spreadsheet, that is Google Sheets. It's also one of the Google online based cloud application that you can use. So these are the data that has come. You can download this data and use for any other purpose, like to analyze them. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to show you how you can save this thing on your computer. So basically you have to go to the file. So when you come to the file, you can come down here to download. So you can download it into an Excel sheet, or maybe to even make it a PDF. Yes, or maybe a web page, or CSV file, any other format that you want. So let me just choose Excel. So I'll just create an Excel sheet, and automatically it will download the file. As you can see here, it has finished the file. This is the file, so you can check it from your computer. So that's how you can use Google Forms to collect data, to review the responses that has come, and also even to what uh, extract the data into an Excel sheet. Just kindly go on with it. I want to hear from you. So if you are facing any challenges, just put it in the comment section. I'll be ready to answer you. Yes, I'll be ready to answer you. So just go on, exploit the Google Forms, try to use it for any other thing that you want, and then get me a feedback. Thank you very much for watching this video.